Hello, you my Uber? All right, here we go.
Awesome.
After you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm Washington Post tech columnist Jeff Fowler, and we're going for an Uber ride with Uber's new CEO, Dara Khosrowshahi. We got together for a conversation because he has some explaining to do about the future of the world's most popular and most troubled ride-sharing app. Last year, Khosrowshahi replaced Uber's brash co-founder Travis Kalanick, under whose watch Uber made headlines for stealing secrets, sexual harassment, and passenger assault. His motto literally was, "Always be hustlin'." And soft-spoken Khosrowshahi couldn't be more different than Kalanick. Hopping into our Uber, he made a point of securing his seatbelt.
Toughest questions that I got from the board during my interview was by Wan Ling, one of our board members. She said, "What is your rider rating?"
Oh.
And I didn't know right off the bat, and I looked it up, and it was a 4.73, which got some serious. The board was not happy with that rating. But my hypothesis is, and it has been improving by the way, I wasn't wearing seatbelts in the back, and I didn't even know it.
Okay.
And I was making the driver feel unsafe.
What was wrong with Uber when you took it over?
The company had grown so fast in a particular way, focused on hypergrowth, focused on competition, that it didn't have the chance to step back and focus on culture.
There seems that there emerged a trust problem between Uber and some of its customers.
I think you're absolutely right about that.
Khosrowshahi says he's spent much of his first few months repairing relations with Uber drivers.
I don't berate driver partners. I have good discussions with them, and usually I'm hunting without their knowing who I am to figure out what they think of us, how we can get better, and whether or not they drive with Lyft as well.
Do you ever drive yourself for Uber?
I did drive myself, and making my turns in a new city was pretty challenging for me. So I missed a couple of turns, and when you miss a turn in San Francisco, you add like 5 to 10 minutes to your trip. So I was happy to have an understanding rider with me.
Drivers are one part of Uber's equation, but Khosrowshahi also has to win back customers, some of whom dropped Uber for arch rival Lyft. Quitting even had a hashtag, delete Uber. In that period, 2016, 2017, you lost some customers. You lost me as a customer. How much did that hurt Uber in that period? How many people like me did you lose?
I don't know the number, but our relative share in the United States suffered pretty significantly in 2017,
Like more than
beginning
10%?
Somewhere around that number. I think it started to hurt the bottom line in a real way. I think it also hurt our ability to bring in talent, which has a longer term effect.
How are you going to win me and all those other people back as customers, the people who deleted Uber from their phone?
We do the right thing, period. And if we keep doing the right thing, period, by our employees, by our riders, by our driver partners, I think that we will start to turn a new leaf.
Getting people to re-download an app is going to take more than an apology. It's going to take a better product. We continued that part of the conversation at Uber's headquarters, in a conference room once called the War Room that Khosrowshahi now calls the Peace Room.
Number one priority, standing for safety. And standing for safety, for example, means beefing up very significantly the screening requirements, the background check processes, et cetera, for bringing driver partners in.
In April, Khosrowshahi announced Uber would begin conducting fresh background checks on drivers at least once per year, and it would mandate drivers take 6-hour breaks, both moves that Lyft had already taken. Even with the priority on safety, Uber had a really bad episode this year, the first ever bystander death caused by a self-driving car. Khosrowshahi says he thinks self-driving cars will ultimately make cities better, but what will happen to all those drivers who rely on Uber for jobs? How do you answer those people? You're trying to replace them.
I think that the drama is machines replacing people, but the reality is that hybrids are happening. I don't believe that self-driving is just going to flip over to all self-driving technology. It's going to take a long time. There's going to be a hybrid period as it switches over.
So you're saying to drivers, you're going to be fine for how many years?
You're going to be fine for the next 10 to 15 years, and car ownership is really what we're going after. And I think our driver partners are going to be a part of that.
Thank you for writing in this edition of Columnists in Cars with CEOs.
Why, thank you. Is this the first edition of Columnists in Cars with CEOs?
It is the first. Maybe next time you can drive. You can be the driver.
You really don't want to be in a car when I'm driving.
I've heard about your Uber score.
Thank you.